All right, so let us begin. So last time what we did is we see a lemma or a theorem which says when you are given a vector x, right? So you can convert it into a vector y, which is a multiplication of h omega with x, right? So h omega is an elementary Hermitian matrix, right? So h omega is an elementary Hermitian matrix, and right, so h omega is an elementary Hermitian matrix. At the same time, we all know that we can choose omega as x minus y over 2 norm of x minus y, right? So where you can choose omega as x minus y over 2 norm of x minus y. And so this is what we learned. And so now we also see that our purpose is to make sure this y looks like CE1, right? So a constant multiple of the first unit vector. So this is what we have seen last time. And so today we are going to do an example to see how we can do this transformation, right? And then we are going to see how we can implement this to solve basically transform a matrix into an upper triangular matrix. Right, so this is what we are going to do now. Okay, so let us given a vector x is equal to 3, 0, 4. Right, so column vector with components 3, 0, and 4. Right, so we want to find h omega, right? Right, so we want to find omega, which is a column vector, such that the elementary Hermitian matrix H omega multiplied by x is equal to some constant multiple of 1, 0, 0. That is the first unit vector. Right? So that is what we wanted to do. Right. So the first idea is the first thing is you need to find what should be the C. Right? So as a consequence of the theorem which we studied in the last class, we see that absolute value of C is equal to the 2 norm of x. Right? So the 2 norm of x is equal to absolute value of C. So you can find the 2 norm. The 2 norm is 3 squared plus 0 squared plus 4 squared. Right? Square of the each component added together, and then you take the square. Right? So basically the 2 norm of vector is the square root of the sum of squares of all the components. Right? So this you can compute. And so this is obviously 5. So this square root is obviously 5, you all know. Right? So C is plus or minus 5. Right? So you all know that. Right? So now if you want to find whether you want to pick plus C or minus C, right, you have to make sure that x minus y is maximized. Right? So this should be your y. So you all know that. Right? So this is your y, which you all know. Right? So if that is your y, then you have to find norm of x minus y 2 norm. So that is x minus y 3 minus 5. Sorry, 3 minus c 0 4. And that is 2 norm of that vector. Right? 3 minus c 0 4. Right? So right, so you can easily see that so this value you all know, that is square root of 3 minus c quantity square plus 4 square. At 0 squared is 0, so you have 3 minus c quantity square plus 4 squared is the value you have, right? So obviously you all know that the square root of this is maximized when right? So when c is minus 5, this value is maximized, because when you put minus 5 you get 8 squared. When you put c is equal to 5 you get 2 squared. So obviously you know 8 squared is bigger than 2 squared, so that's not a big thing to do. So this is maximized when c is equal to minus 5. So what you do is you choose c as minus 5. Right, so we pick c as minus 5 because according to theory we pick such that x minus y is maximized. So once you do that, then you can find the vector omega. Right, so the vector omega is x minus y divided by norm of x minus y 2 norm. So you all know x minus y is this. Right, so 1 upon norm of x minus y quantity squared times x minus y, 2 norm of x minus y times x minus y. So x minus y is this, right? So x minus y is this. So 3 minus minus 5 is 5, 8, 0, 4. Right? And now when you get 5, you get 8 squared plus 4 squared. Right? So that's you basically you get 4 square root of 5. Because you get 8 squared plus 4 squared, so when you factor out 4 squared, you get 4 plus 1, so it's 4 square root of 5. And so that's not a big computation, you can always see this. So when you simplify, you get 1 upon square root of 5 times 8 divided by 4 is 2, 0, 1. So this will be your omega. So once you find omega, you can find h omega, right? But here we don't need to apply h omega here, right? So we can simplify omega, right? So by theory, right? If omega is this, you can always find this matrix, right? H omega, which is I minus 2 omega, omega Hermitian, right? So you can always find it. But technically, when it comes to practical problems or when it comes to computation, mostly we will not compute this matrix. we will stop with the computation of omega, right? And then what we do is we do the multiplication by using a simple arithmetic, right? So here, by theory, we all know that h omega times x is equal to c times 1, even E1. So h omega times 304 should be equal to minus 5 times 100. And so that is obvious. So we can avoid doing the computation because this one we already proved in the theory. So we can immediately write it down. Later on, when we do the matrix elimination also, right? So we are going to not write the matrix H omega, but we will just multiply the vector by the matrix by using this form of the matrix H omega. Right? So that we will see when we see the next type of example after the next theorem. Right? So this is an example of what we studied last time, right? Where we find the column vector omega such that h omega times x is transformed into a constant multiple of first unit vector of that same length. So now we are going to apply this to find a sequence of elementary Hermitian matrices that convert the matrix, given matrix A, into an upper triangular matrix. So we will see that here. So it is triangular factorization using elementary Hermitian matrix. Okay, triangular factorization by using elementary Hermitian matrix, right? So I will write this as a theorem. Right? So this theorem says if we are given an n cross n matrix A, then we can find n minus 1 elementary Hermitian matrices, namely H omega 1, H omega 2, H omega 3, up to H omega n minus 1, right, such that when you multiply the matrix A in that order, right, A multiplied with H omega 1 in front first, and then H omega 2, and then so up to H omega n minus 1, right. So if you multiply A by those n minus 1 elementary Hermitian matrices, note that all of them should be an n cross n matrix. We will get an upper triangular matrix. So we have to prove this. So if you want to prove this, basically you want to prove it by induction, because in Gaussian elimination in the first chapter we prove the results by using induction. So here also we are going to use the same thing, right? So we will use induction to prove the result. And so if you want to do induction, basically here you already know the previous lemma and the previous exercise we did. We have shown that a column can be converted into a constant multiple of first unit vector. So here the first column, if we can convert it into a constant multiple of first unit vector, then that is done, right? So you have elements below the diagonal 0 on the first column. And then if you can do it for second column, fine, we are done. Third column, we are done. And so we are going to do it by mathematical induction. So the previous lemma which we studied in the last class is going to help us to do this. So proof of this, we write A as a column-wise matrix notation. Okay, so AI is the ith column of A. Right, so this is how we rewrite the matrix, column-wise notation. Right, so then because A1 is the first column, it is of length n, right? So okay, so if A is an n cross n matrix, the first column is a column with n components. So by my previous lemma, I can find elementary Hermitian matrix H omega 1, right? So obviously that will be of size n cross n, right? So that's clear. An n cross n matrix H omega 1 such that when you multiply A1 by H omega 1, we get a constant multiple of unit vector of size n, right? So a C1 times E1, E1 is 1, 1, 1. So then now if you multiply A by this H omega 1, Okay, so after first step, when you multiply h omega 1 by a, that means you multiply every column of a by h omega 1. Once you multiply by h omega 1, then h omega 1 a will looks like c1 e1. So c1 on the first term and 0 0 0 below that. And then other terms are something else which you don't know, right? Which you can always compute. So now we break that matrix into a piece, four pieces, right? So one component here, here you have a column of all zeros, and then here you have a row of some components which you name as P1, right? And P1 is another matrix, right? So right, so clearly you know that D1 is a row vector of size n minus 1, sorry, 1 cross n minus 1, right? So this is, and B1 is a matrix of n minus 1 cross n minus 1. So this completes the first step, right? So we have done the elimination on the first step. So now let us assume that, by for mathematical induction purpose, let us assume that we have done a sequence, or we have computed a sequence of k elementary Hermitian matrices such that when you multiply k elementary Hermitian matrices together, you get a new matrix. Right? So let us, for the sake of notation, let us name this as A1. Right? So let us name this as A1. Okay. Now okay, so we have, suppose we have computed n cross n elementary Hermitian matrices h omega 1, h omega 2 up to h omega k, such that when you multiply A by those elementary Hermitian matrices in that order, you get a matrix which can be blocked into four blocks, right? The top corner is named as AK, the bottom corner is named as BK, and then one of the blocks below AK is 0, and the block above BK is named as DK. So let us see the sizes of these blocks and what are the special factors of these blocks. Right, so suppose we have done the first k steps successfully, but if we have done this, then you know we will get an upper triangular part on the first k columns. Right, so on the first k columns, we should have upper triangular part. Right, so then obviously the matrix AK will be an upper triangular matrix of size k cross k, and 0 will be a matrix of all zeros to fill the rest of the part below AK. Right, so that will be an n minus k rows and k columns. Right, and then DK is the leftover when you cut down AK from the first k rows, so it will be a k cross n minus k matrix. And then BK is the leftover after you cut down AK and DK and 0. Right? So it will be an n minus k row cross n minus k column matrix. Right? So now for induction, let us assume that we have done up to this point correctly. So now what we have to do is we have to show that there exists an h omega k plus 1 such that when you multiply by h omega k plus 1 here, you get one more column in the upper triangular matrix. So you have to get the k plus first column has 0 below the diagonal. So obviously in the k plus first column, right? So if you look at the k plus first column, this is the k plus first column. Right? So here, right? So this is the k plus first column. Right? So in this, you already have some elements above that, right? So all you need to do is you need to have a constant here, right? And below this, everything should be 0. You don't need to worry about what you have above that line, right? So in this shaded line with blue part, you don't need to worry about that, because that can be anything. Only thing you worry is the part which contains in the matrix BK. So in that column part, you should have first component non-zero and all the others to be 0. So that's all you need. So we can always do that, because if you pick the first column of BK, then you can apply the previous lemma and you can get it done, right? So that is what we are going to write next. Right, so let us pick the first column of BK. So obviously that we name that as small b1k. Right. So clearly you know that the BK is not an n cross n matrix. It is an n minus k cross n minus k matrix. So length of that vector is n minus k. Right. Okay, so you have the length of this vector as n minus k. Right. So now this part is very important, because the omega you choose is of the length of the vector you are working with. So here, because this vector is of size n minus k, so it is not n, it is smaller than n. The omega you are going to get is of length smaller than n. So the matrix h omega k which you are going to get here is not going to be the matrix which we are looking for, because we want a Hermitian matrix of size n cross n. But if we handle this vector, we are going to get a matrix of size n minus k cross n minus a. So we have two problems. One is this is the only vector we can get used to, right? We can use only this vector, right? But unfortunately, the Hermitian matrix we are going to get is smaller than what we want. So we have to fix both of them. So first, what we are going to do is we are going to use this vector and we are going to form a small elementary Hermitian matrix. And then we are going to see how we can enlarge that, or how we can expand that to the size we want, right? So which is n cross n. So let us start with this vector and then form a small elementary Hermitian matrix. Okay, so because of the small nature of this column, I'm going to name a new vector. Okay, so by applying the previous lemma, that is the lemma we studied last class, what we are going to get is, because B1k is of size n minus k, we are going to get a column vector of size n minus k, which help us to form an elementary Hermitian matrix of size n minus k cross n minus k, such that when you multiply the column vector B1k by the elementary Hermitian matrix, you get some ck plus 1 constant times E1 unit vector, but this unit vector is small size, right? So n minus k plus 1. Okay. So this is what we get by applying the previous lemma. So now what we want is, we want an n cross n matrix. So we have to expand this matrix. So how we can do that? So that is a separate process which we have to do within this proof, right? So we have to enlarge the matrix. So if you want to enlarge the matrix, right? So this is what we want. We want an n cross n elementary Hermitian matrix. So, but what we have is Vk, which is small, but we want n cross n. So basically, you want a column vector of size n, right? So from Vk, we have to get omega k plus 1. So how we can do that is, we take Vk and fill zeros on top of it to make sure that it gets n components. Right? So right, so you know that Vk is an n minus k length vector, right? Right, so Vk is an n minus k length vector. Okay, so Vk is an n minus k length vector. So what you do is you put zeros on the top, right? Above the zero, above the Vk, you put zeros, the certain number of zeros, such that to make the whole length as n, right? So here you have n minus k components in Vk. So you know you have to add k more components to make it as length n. So you put k number of zeros on the top. So that is how you create an n length vector out of the vector which is not of length n. Right? So that is how you do that. So now once you do that, you have to make sure that h omega k plus 1. Once you get omega k plus 1, you can get h omega k plus 1, but you have to make sure that it is a elementary Hermitian matrix. So you have to have the proper mechanism or the proper, you have to make sure that the properties of elementary Hermitian matrices are satisfied. So but Vk, h omega Vk is an elementary Hermitian matrix. So you all know that it satisfies the properties of an elementary Hermitian matrix. That is, Vk is 0 or h omega, Vk Hermitian Vk is equal to 1. So in that case, so clearly you can see that okay, so clearly you can see that and so if Vk is 0, then clearly you can see that omega k plus 1 is 0, right? If this is 0, already the top part is 0, so everything is 0. So that's fine. Otherwise,
Excuse me, sir.
yep.
Sir, board is not clear.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Still we have problems, sir.
Is it fine? Is it fine now?
No, sir.
Okay. So now you have, if Vk is 0, then omega k plus 1 will be 0. Right? Else, you have to compute omega k plus 1 Hermitian times omega k plus 1. Right? So if you compute omega k plus 1 Hermitian times omega k plus 1, right? So then clearly you get 0 and Vk Hermitian times omega k, that is 0 Vk. If you multiply this, you get 0 Hermitian 0 plus Vk Hermitian Vk. Right, so when you multiply the row with column, you get 0 Hermitian times 0 plus omega h Vk Hermitian times Vk. So this is 0 and this is 1, right? So this is 1. So what you have is, you have omega k plus 1 is 0 or omega k plus 1 times Hermitian times omega k plus 1 is 1. right? So omega k plus 1, Hermitian omega a plus 1 is 1. So that is the necessary requirement we need to have for the Hermitian matrix H omega k. Right, so H omega k plus 1 is elementary Hermitian. Right, so that's proved now. So we are able to, and obviously you know that, and more importantly, that is an n cross n elementary Hermitian matrix. Right? So we are able to get an n cross n elementary Hermitian matrix here. Right? So once you do that, now what you do is you multiply AK by this elementary Hermitian matrix. Okay, so now you have this, right? H omega k plus 1 multiplied by H omega by AK is equal to AK plus 1. Right? So that is the next step of elimination. So once you do that, you know that you have to multiply H omega k plus 1 by AK, but you already write down AK in the block form. So now the question is, we have H omega k, but if you want to multiply this with this matrix, obviously you need to have H omega k in the block form. So we have to work it out and see how we can write it down in the block form. Right? So now we will try to write the H omega k plus 1 in the block form. Right, so you have H omega k plus 1 is I minus 2 omega k plus 1 omega k plus 1 Hermitian. Right, so now this is I minus 2 omega k plus 1 is 0 and Vk, right, and then you have 0 Hermitian and Vk Hermitian. Right, so when you multiply this, you get identity minus 2, right? So this is going to be a block 0 times 0, 0, 0 times Vk 0, Vk times 0, 0, Vk times this is Vk Hermitian. So you have identity minus 2 times of this block. So clearly, now you know this is of k minus n minus k cross n minus a k. So this is a k cross k matrix. So you can combine these two in the following way. So this is ik 0 0 in minus k minus 2 vk Hermitian. Right. So this is the block transformation, because you divide the identity matrix into an identity matrix of k size and n minus k size, and then you add or subtract the block on the other side. So this is obviously in this form. Right, so ik 0 0 h bk. Right, so this is how we have this. Right, so we are able to write down h omega k plus 1 as a block form also. So we come back here, right, and then you can write this into a block form and multiply. Right, so because h omega k plus 1 can be written in a block like this, you multiply h omega k plus 1 with ak as a block multiplication. So you multiply by blocks. And so when you multiply by blocks, you can easily see that. And so you can easily see that your ak plus 1 is looking at this into this ak, like 4 blocks. This into next is bk. This into that is 0, and this into that is HBK times BK. Right, so that is what you have when you multiply the two blocks together. Right, so IK cross IK and 0 multiplied by AK and 0 get AK. IK 0 multiplied by DK, BK get DK. 0 HBK multiplied by AK 0 gives you 0, and 0 HBK multiplied by 0 multiplied by DK BK gives you HBK times BK. But we already see that when you multiply HBK times BK, makes the first column of BK looks like CK plus 1 0 0 0, right? So in this multiplication, you know that the first column is going to look like CK plus 1 0 0 0, right? So that is how we find HBK. Right? So the purpose of finding HBK is to do an elimination on the matrix BK. So when you multiply HBK and BK, give you a column with CK 0 0 0, CK plus 1 0 0 0. So what you can do is, if you transform this block here, then that block is obviously an upper triangular matrix. So that's clear. So clearly, after doing the transformation, you can expand the size of AK to AK plus 1, where AK plus 1 itself is an element, is a upper triangular matrix of size K plus 1 cross K plus 1. So that proves that if the first K steps are true, then the K plus first step is also true. So that is enough to prove the whole thing by mathematical induction, because we already proved step 1, and now we assume the first K steps are true, and we prove that it works for step K plus 1. So then it will work for all steps up to k running from 1 to n minus 1. Okay? So that is how to do the elimination by using elementary Hermitian matrices. Right? So this way you are able to convert a matrix into an upper triangular matrix basically by multiplying the elementary Hermitian matrix. So here there are two important things. One is after first step, right? First step only you get H omega 1 directly, which is a elementary Hermitian matrix of size n cross n. But in the second step, what you get first is a matrix of elementary Hermitian matrix of size 1 less, right? So n minus 1 cross n minus 1. So then what you have to do is you have to expand it to n cross n. In the third step, you get a matrix with size 2 less to n. So n minus 2 cross n minus 2. Then what you have to do is you have to expand it to n cross n. Right? So that is what you have to do every time, and this is how you expand. Right? So you break it into a block, and on the top corner you put the necessary sized identity matrix, and on the bottom corner you put the elementary Hermitian matrix of smaller size which you find, and then that gives you the expanded elementary Hermitian matrix. So in the next class on Wednesday we will do an example on, and we will see how we can do this for step 2 and step 3, and that will give you a clear idea about what was done in the proof. Right? So that we will see in the Wednesday class. We will stop here and then continue on Wednesday.